Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Each year, some 2 million people are arrested on charges ranging from vagrancy to murder. And of these 2 million, more than 50% are found guilty. The Highway Patrol is proud of its record in bringing to justice those who break the law. One Thursday in June, the Highway Patrol ran into one of its most baffling cases. A brutal murder, seemingly without plan or purpose. One whose victim's wallet carried only a single card of identification, curiously designating Henry LaFaver, no relation, to be notified in case of emergency. The Highway Patrol found Roger Wilson dead in a motel room far distant from his home, and sent for Henry LaFaver in the hope that he could bring some sense to a seemingly wanton killing.
Hi, this is Mr. Henry LaFaver. He flew out from New York to identify the body. Mr. LaFaver, Mr. Matthews.
How do you do? Identification positive?
Unfortunately, yes.
Does he have a family?
A wife and a married daughter.
Why was your name in his wallet to be notified in case of emergency?
My business is Continental Gems, and Roger is, or was, my salesman. Like all jewelry salesmen, he traveled inconspicuously across the country. His wallet contained only the simplest form of identification, in case he was held up or robbed.
Oh, I see.
Roger was carrying over $100,000 in precious gems.
Anybody else know he was making this trip?
Only my secretary and me. Oh, I see what you're thinking. Yes, it had to be somebody who knew. But how? The life of a jewelry salesman is lonely and secretive. He never stops at the same hotel twice. He never travels the same road twice. And he never talks to strangers.
Well, what about your secretary?
She's been with me 25 years, almost as long as Roger Wilson. Roger was going to retire next month. This trip was to be his farewell to his customers. Mr. Matthews, I'd like to be the one to notify Roger's wife.
Well, you come down to headquarters. You can make the call from there.
Thanks for your kindness, Sergeant.
Not at all, sir.
Let's go.
Pete Madison, using the name John Halloran, smugly waited for his partners in crime, Jack and Sally Barron, knowing full well that his years as a New York elevator operator in a rich jewelry building gave him access to a plan which now was proving successful. 3 quick robberies of 3 isolated jewelry salesmen over 1,000 miles from their homes. 3 robberies by 3 determined first-timers who would never again commit a crime.
Well, how'd you make out?
Fine.
Were you spotted?
No. After we took care of Wilson and found the gems, we cut back east.
We even had to stop overnight at some flea bag of a hotel.
Nobody paid any attention to us. This morning, we cut south, swung around, bypassed the scene of the crime by some 50 miles.
Where's the stones? Boy, aren't those beautiful? Oh, well, they passed the scratch test. They're real, all right. Okay, now let's talk about the next one.
Pete?
Yeah?
You know, Jack and I were thinking, maybe we ought to quit now. We got over 100,000 in that last haul. And split down the middle, that means 50 for you and 50 for us. We figure it's enough.
Since when does she do the talking?
Well, Sally and I decided on this. We didn't figure on murder.
Murder?
I must have hit Wilson too hard. He looked awfully dead when we left him.
Well, what do you say, Pete?
I say you're stupid. You made a mistake, but we don't quit. I spent 4 years figuring out this deal. In 36 hours, we'll have our hands on $300,000 worth of stuff. Then we quit, and not before. Now, Michael Harding checked into the Oaks Motel last night, room 8. He's got a date with a customer this morning. He'll be back at his room in 1 hour. That doesn't give us much time. I gimmick the lock on the front door so he can move right in. And don't use so much muscle. You don't have to kill him, just clobber him. Any questions?
What's the layout of this motel?
Perfect for our setup. Right off the road, and each cabin is separate. Now, you can park your car 2 blocks from the hotel. Now be sure and take those heavy-duty scissors. Harding wears his jewel case handcuffed to his wrist.
Well, where do we meet and when?
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock in Woodmere. Corner of Neptune and Brower.
Neptune and Brower.
You know, running that elevator in a diamond building isn't going to seem so bad. Not with my share of $300,000.
It'll be all right, honey.
I guess so. I wish it were tomorrow night.
Let's go.
I've got the chart finished.
Come here. Here's a list of all the guests at the motel where we found Wilson. Any of these names or descriptions seem familiar to you?
No?
Anything from the lab on fingerprints?
No, nothing.
What do all these statistics mean?
Well, the medical examiners established the time of the murder as 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, a little more than 24 hours ago. The check-in and check-out times tell us who was at the motel when Mr. Wilson was there and who was still there when he was killed.
We checked the Vandervoorts and the Watermans, also the guy that owns the motel. They've all got good alibis.
Now, as you can see from the chart, the Slaters, Conrad Mason, John Halloran checked out before Wilson was killed. We've ordered them picked up for questioning.
From what you say, it would seem that the murder is not on the chart.
Well, we're not sure. We're still checking alibis. You sure none of these names are familiar?
I don't recognize any of them.
Well, what about the descriptions?
Just a collection of statistics. Now, if I could see them face to face, that might be a different proposition.
We're trying to arrange that for you now.
Slater's check out clean. Time of the murder, they were in a hotel 100 miles from here. We still have the APB on Mason, and we're continuing to check buses and trains from John Halloran.
We'll be at the motel. Come on, let's go.
So far, so good.
Boy, but I'll be glad when this is over.
One more job after this one, and we can all relax.
Relax. Coming over here, I thought that a cop was going to tap me on the shoulder any minute.
For crying out loud, Sally.
Can't help it. I thought I wasn't scared anymore. But cops don't give up so easily when it comes to murder. He's coming too. Let's get out of here.
No. Wait a minute.
No! No! What's the matter? Have you got killed, crazy?
Uh-huh. All right. Thank you very much. The police in Center City give Mason a clean bill of health.
That leaves Halloran.
What happened at the motel?
They were all strangers to me. I'd never seen any of them before.
That's too bad. I was hoping we'd get a start there. Well, what next?
That's a good question. Come on.
Yeah, thank you. Did you get that?
Right. Headquarters to 4032.
The Briar Valley Police report an attack and robbery at the Oaks Motel. The victim's identified as Michael Harding, a jewelry salesman from New York City. He's got a slight concussion.
You know him?
Very well. He works for Endicott & Sons. They're located in my building.
Where's the Oaks?
On Highway 16, 4 miles past the junction with 22.
Okay, come on, let's go. You didn't see the guy that slugged you?
No. He must have been hiding behind the door. I had a feeling there was someone else in the room just before I got hit.
There was more than one person in the room, you say?
Yes, I have a vague recollection that just as I opened the door, I smelled perfume. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a woman that hit me.
How much was taken?
Not a single solitary sou. Would you bring that case over for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Those crooks, whoever they were, they took a paste set of my samples. The real things are in here. You see, whenever I visit one of my customers, I take a paste set. And then if they're interested in any of the items, I show them the real things later. These are them.
Is it all there?
Yes, they're all there, Mr. Matthews. This is the real stuff. $130,000 worth of gems on the wholesale market. Well, say, Mr. Matthews, would you put these in a safe place for me till I'm able to get back to New York?
Yeah, sure.
I've got the registry.
Is it up to date?
Yeah, the manager says right up to the minute. John Halloran checked in last night. Checked out about 4 hours ago. The manager didn't see him go, but he saw the checkout sign on the door.
Any description?
He says about 5'9" or 10, 35, sandy.
What about the car?
Now, that's a strange thing. Now, according to the manager, the man walked into the office with a small suitcase. Only 2 buses passed here during the day, one at 11 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock. Halloran came in at 6 o'clock, according to the book.
Did the manager give you anything else that was special?
Well, he said he seemed unfriendly, kind of mean.
Well, that's something.
Halloran, John Halloran. Wasn't there such a fellow registered at the other motel?
Yeah, that's right. Tell me, how long have you been dealing in gems?
Oh, 30, 35 years.
How often does a robbery like this take place?
The robbery of a jewelry salesman is a very rare thing, but I see what you're getting at. 2 robberies in 24 hours in the same part of the country, and both salesmen from the same building.
Yeah. And you still don't recognize Halloran?
No, I'm sorry.
What about you, Mr. Harding?
Well, from the description, I think I should know him. But for the life of me, I can't think of who it is.
Okay. Thanks very much. $21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters by.
Notify the New York police of the murder of Roger Wilson and the attack and robbery of Michael Harding. Have them check all tenants of the Diamond Building. See if there's another jewelry salesman from that building in this area. Also check the tenants in that building, see if you can get me a description of a guy by the name of John Halloran. 10-4?
10-4.
Well, nobody saw a thing. No car, no sign of him. You think he could be a hitchhiker?
No, this thing is too well organized. And figuring from what Harding said about the perfume, he could be working with a woman or a man and a woman.
What's in the case?
Well, that's the real jewels. The crooks got paste duplicates. You know, it's an outside chance they might come back for him. Put a stakeout on Harding's room, will you? $21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters by.
Anything on the bus and rail check of Halloran?
Negative.
Look, just in case Halloran's traveling by car, alert all units to be on the lookout for a car with a New York State license. Oh, he might be traveling with a woman. I'm coming in. 10-4?
10-4.
In the brief span of 24 hours, working on a tight time schedule developed by Pete Madison, alias John Halloran, Jack and Sally Barron had already struck twice and were planning to strike a third time and then disappear. Their object, more than $300,000 in precious stone.
Glad here. I was just going to call you. A teletype from New York. John Halloran checked against anybody who might have business in the Diamond Building. Description matches any of 6 men working there. Only one of them isn't around. Peter Madison, elevator operator on a 2-week vacation. DMV shows a car registered in his name, license number 065822.
That's good. What else?
Checked all firms in the building. One other diamond salesman due in your area, Thomas Thayer. Haven't got full details yet. Expected at the Bon Ton Jewelry Shop at Woodmere by tomorrow.
Thank him for me, will you? And tell him I'd like to return the favor sometime.
Maybe we can get to work now.
I'll get an APB out on Madison in his car.
Send the info to the Woodmere office. Tell them we're on our way.
Yes, sir. Headquarters 2150.
This is 3016. Bye?
Woodmere reports that Thomas Thayer left the Bon Ton Jewelry Shop 5 minutes ago. Owner of Bon Ton doesn't know where he's staying. We're checking all motels and hotels in the area.
What about Pete Madison? Any report on him?
Negative, but roadblocks have been established on all main arteries leading into Woodmere.
10-4.
Hi, Jack. Pete. Sally.
Hi, Pete.
How'd it go?
Fine.
No problem.
Everything okay, huh? Well, another $100,000.
They're beauties.
Beautiful.
What are you trying to pull?
What are you talking about? The jewels are right there.
And they're all paste.
The jewels were in the case, handcuffed to his wrist.
The real ones were. And you pulled a switch.
We wouldn't try anything like that. We saw you check the last batch.
Paste samples. I never thought of that one. Well, we just lost $100,000. I'm sorry I slugged you, Jack.
That's all right, Pete.
Well, we still got Tom Thayer to think about. I traced him to the Victory Motel. Now, we'll do this last one together. There'll be no more slip-ups.
Anything you say.
Okay, you just leave your car there and we'll go in my car. It looks like everything's going wrong.
What's the matter?
Well, look, can't you see? That's Thayer's car. He's in his cabin. You're gonna have to move and take him now.
How can I do that without him seeing me?
Here, take this gun. He's carrying $150,000 worth of stones. I left the back door to the cabin off the latch.
This is murder, Pete.
Well, you killed Wilson. They say the second one's easy. Go around and back of those cabins. It's the fourth one down. Now move. No, not you.
Right down there. Come on, let's go.
The New York plate, but it's not Madison's car.
Take a look.
Bingo.
That must be the car used by Madison's Confederates.
Yeah, but where are they?
Looking for Thayer?
Headquarters to 2150. Headquarters to 2150.
$21.50 by.
Thomas Thayer traced to Victory Motel, room number 14 at High Point.
Send a stakeout to a car parked at the edge of Woodmere Road. 10-4?
10-4.
Come on, Ken, let's go. 2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters by.
Set up roadblock. Junction to Carmen and Wood there. Send an ambulance to Victory Motel, Bungalow 14. 10-4?
10-4.
Shall I stay with him when the ambulance gets here?
No, he's going to be all right. You come with me.
See you in New York. Right.
Cops. Come out of the car with your hands up. You're not Madison. Where is he?
On his way to New York.
He can't be too far ahead of me. I'm going after him. Here, take him in. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, it isn't what you drive, but how you drive that counts. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.